We're just gonna give it like a minute or two, but welcome to everybody. We could probably get started a little bit. So, if the peer coaches wanted to turn on the video and introduce yourselves. I'm Diana. How's everybody doing?
Hi guys, I'm Sabria.
What's up, y'all? I'm Alyssa.
Hey everyone, I'm Aurelio.
Let's see here. Okay. So basically, we're going to just be asking a few questions. I feel like I should probably ask the questions for you guys real quick because they're very like EOF based. So we're basically going to start asking questions like a Q&A of the Summer Institute. If you guys have any questions or any concerns, the chat box is here. You're also more than welcome to unmute yourself and ask whatever questions you need to ask. But is everybody okay with starting? Everybody good? Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so for the questions for you guys, what was the Summer Institute really like? If anybody wants to jump in.
So for me, the Summer Institute was something that I had to do to get into college. So that's how I always looked at it in the summertime. But the more I look back on it, I always told myself I should have got more involved with it because there was so much more connections and deep connections I could have made. Because I was always the type of person that go to sleep at a certain time and always the person that would just got went to my class and then that was it for me. Um, but I've done the Summer Institute 2 more times as an RA. It's always been great to just see the students progress and like see the students actually succeed. So as far as EOF, I love it. It's not like I didn't enjoy the experience while I was there. It was always I consider my EOF class like family. So if they always need something, they always know I got them.
I would agree with Aurelio about interacting more because I did not interact at all until the end of Summer Institute for me. And then since I had a little bit of connection with everyone, I had classes with most of everyone in my EOF class. So just by being in class and seeing them on campus helped me create a better relationship with them.
That's cool. I think that, like, from Aurelio's kind of just to piggyback off of him, like, we were both in the same EOF class, and it was really cool to, like, I don't know, to just kind of somebody, like, it was just really cool to make connections and meet people and still, go to class and just have fun while I was doing it. It just felt like one big club to me.
Diana, you're muted. Oh my god, I didn't even know. I was like, I basically asked, I was like, is there anything that you would have wanted to change about your experience in the EOF Summer Institute? Because I know they both brought something up, so I didn't know if you had anything that you wanted to, if you could have changed anything about your experience, what would have been?
I don't know. I think it was really cool. Like, maybe I ate too much pizza. Like, at every event, like, I ate so much pizza. Like, that's not even a joke. Like it was I ate a lot. I gained a little bit of weight, but it was good weight. It was happy weight. So I don't know.
For anyone that's like going to be heavily involved in our university or they go to a bunch of workshops, pizza's going to be everything.
Yeah.
It's in.
Sure.
Okay. Hold on. What do you guys like about Rutgers-Camden? So what is it about the campus that like that gravitated you guys towards the campus? Like, what did you like about it?
Well, for me, I always liked that urban environment type of thing, and I just really liked how it was. Everything was so convenient to each other, so I didn't have to really like travel everywhere. And then just yeah, so the main reason why I really like Rutgers Campus is very it was very it's a small campus. It's very intimate and it's easy just to go to places. Like I don't have to like I could get up like I could just hang out with my friends and then I could just time my time perfectly. I could be like at a certain place in 5 to 10 minutes. So that's what I always liked about Rutgers Camden. It was so convenient. And I just the scenery about everything is so nice. So I like it.
Sorry you guys see me like hitting bugs and stuff. I don't like them. But I would say for me is one big thing is class size. I know I can't focus in a big class. So just having that one-on-one connection with my professor. And I would also say as a whole, the campus always comes together and stuff and support one another. Like I know there's like a few people that that does like shirts or like sell different things, and there's a lot of people that support them.
Well, I'm Rutgers-Camden in the first place. This was like my last choice. I like did not want to come here. So there wasn't anything that really like gravitated me towards the school other than the EOF program. But once I got here, like there was just so much to like. Like all of the people were really, really nice. There was so much free food everywhere. The classes, they were like, I don't know, school to me has always been school. But it was a plus coming here because it wasn't like a high school class setting to where maybe you have like 50 people in the class instead of going from like a high school to a big lecture, like a huge lecture hall kind of thing. So it ended up growing on me. So
So kind of, I basically had the same situation. I go to another university. Money was one of the few schools that provided me the most financial aid and financial assistance, which I really appreciated. And I came for Admitted Students Day for a tour. And I've never been to the campus before. I applied to all three campuses. And then I decided to come and visit the campus. And my initial like interpretation of the campus versus my actual experience there the first day, like I fell in love with the campus as soon as I stepped on it, just because it's so close, it's so small, and I really liked the feeling of being able to go to point A to point B like in 10 minutes, like walking. The farthest building is a 10-minute walk. Everything else is so close, and just how close and united the whole campus is as a whole. I feel like everybody is kind of more like a family than they are just a student body, which is great. And Philly is also right there. And I am so in love with the idea of just hopping on a train and going to Philly for $1 instead of $5 driving over that bridge every time.
You can walk the bridge if you want to.
Yeah, like if you are brave enough to run the bridge. I do it here and there. I almost have a asthma attack when I'm done, but it's worth it. So if you're down for that, you could always run the bridge. That's pretty cool too. Those were like a few things that I liked about the campus and Rutgers. As far as challenges go, what would you guys say are challenges for you guys being on campus and challenges being at Rutgers?
Oh, I want to say for the students that are here, you guys are more than free to just ask questions on the chat box, or you guys can like unmute yourselves and ask them like in like the call. As far as challenges at Rutgers Camden, for me, there's not really much of a challenge because everything is just so close and so like everyone knows each other. We're practically like family. So I don't really see a problem for me at least, and at Rutgers-Camden. I guess the only problem is the options of food, maybe. Like there's not like Chick-fil-A or like other restaurants that you usually go to like near Rutgers-Camden, but there are like you said, Philly's right across the street, so like right across the bridge. So there's so many restaurants and so many great things that you can go out and eat, and there's so much to do at Philly that like I guess that substitutes for all the stuff like the fast food restaurants in general that is not relatively near Rutgers-Camden.
I would say this.
Oh,
Oh, Catalyst.
no, go ahead, Sabria.
You can go ahead.
Okay. I would say that probably my biggest challenge at Rutgers-Camden was just staying focused on, my studies and not getting caught up and being like, oh my goodness, I'm finally in college. Um, but that's, to me, I think that's something that like everyone kind of goes through and grows through and kind of gets out of. But to me, like Rutgers-Camden doesn't really, I can't think of too many Rutgers-Camden specific challenges. Um, just maybe like discipline and just staying on top of your schoolwork was probably my biggest thing throughout being here.
I was gonna say the same thing basically. And just based off like the peer coaches, we were talking the other day about challenges and I think it was Aurelio. I'm not sure who brought it up, but someone said management just because you're like you're out, you're not like underneath your parents and stuff. So like of course all your friends is gonna be like, oh, let's go do this, let's go do this. Every day is gonna be something new. And then it's like, okay, like I'm spending a lot of money and every day spending a lot of money, eventually it adds up. So I would just be mindful of that. Just making sure you're saving as well, because that's a big thing. And just being careful where you put your money at too, as well. I don't know what else. And just managing your time with like school, friends, family, and making sure you're on top of your work. Because since we have a lot of free time and you're on your own, you don't have someone constantly telling you, oh, make sure you do your homework, make sure you turn in this quiz or something. So just make sure you always cut out time to do your work and stuff.
So I didn't think about money management until like Aurelio brought it up, and now you're bringing it up. I remember, okay, so for the students that are watching, you get a thing called Raptor dollars. And it's like $100 worth on your card, I think. I don't know. Can someone correct me if I'm wrong? It's either 100 or $50. And you basically swipe in whatever you want. So like
It's
things that
$100.
it's 100. Okay, great. Even worse. So you get $100, and it's basically things that you can buy that's not in the cafeteria, like in the cafe that we have. So Starbucks is one of those things. I am addicted to Starbucks. It was a problem. And on top of that, I thought with the money that I had that I was big balling and I could like pay for my friends' drinks and my drinks, and that slowly declined within like the second month of the semester. I was done. I had $0 in that account because of my Starbucks habits. And I was even asking Aurelio for like buy me drinks here and there. I'd be like, Aurelio, can you please buy me something, please? Like it was a problem. So money management's a big one. Also, controlling myself. I don't know if you guys had freshman 15 problems, but like I had freshman 30 problems. And that was because I was always going to the cap and I was always eating. So this
That pizza.
it's that pizza. It's from the events that you guys have to be participating in from those events that you go to. So that was definitely a big challenge. I lost that weight though, so like we're fine. But it was terrible. It was a really bad experience. Period.
I would also say that there's like a convenience store on campus too, and if you get like the nice lunch lady or something, they'll swipe your meal swipe instead of your Raptor dollars too. But you just have to know which one it is. You didn't hear it from me though.
Ask the question.
Yep. Anybody want to read it?
I'll do it. In addition to being on campus in the future, can you briefly talk about some challenges that may come up with being virtual for the Summer Institute? So for me, this virtual thing is more like an online type of class feel. So regardless of anything like in general. Like for me, it's easier to just get up and just go to class. That for me, I find that easier instead of waking up and just like I could just go to class like that. I say that because if my say my class is at 8, right? I'm gonna probably be like I'm gonna wake up at 7:55 and then I'm gonna go to class at 8. I'm gonna just wake up and just go to class and not even put my screen on and just listen. But the thing is, me knowing that I can just listen makes me just go to sleep. And I'm just like, there's no point to this because I'm gonna overrate myself and go like, I already know this stuff. So there's no need for me to go to class or anything. It just takes a lot of responsibility for you to actually like be like attentive and very focused in your classes because online classes are a lot, and you really have to check your emails. You have to check the announcements that the teachers give because all you really have to do in class is just go there and then they tell you everything and you just write them down. But you really have to look at everything and make sure you knock down and make sure you get all your assignments done. It's more like you're doing everything yourself, and it's your responsibility to check your emails, check the announcements, make sure your assignments are done, make sure you have all your homeworks done. So that's my explanation too. That's the certain challenges that you would face in the virtual platform.
I agree with Aurelio because I know for like spring semester, I was kind of having a hard time transitioning. So I would say, make like a schedule because that's what I did. I'd be like, okay, so I know I have this due and this due this week. So I'm going to plan my week out and do it. And then sometime I'll plan like day by day, or I know I'm going to do like my intro to leadership homework on Wednesday. So when Tuesday night come, I'll plan out my day for Wednesday and try and follow that schedule as much as possible. And then like there will be times when I'm not motivated to get up and do my work because I'm already in my bed. Like I feel comfortable in my bed. I don't feel like end up doing anything, like nothing at all. So sometimes I would just have to like force myself, like, okay, if you spend an hour just writing this paper, you'll be fine. And then you could go watch Netflix or go do something else. So it's basically try to do it as like a reward, like find something that will make you complete the assignment.
Those are like really valid points. Like to me, like I think I need to get like a calendar and like everything there, like a physical big one. I just get distracted on my phone too easily. I think that just my biggest challenge with all of the online classes is um, just staying on top of the work. I think that's it. You just kind of have to go. You have to listen, just attend the meetings, whatever the Zoom is or the WebEx or the whatever platform it is, just attending and actually having the discipline, like Aurelio said, to sit and listen and try to retain all of the information or what you just need for the course.
One thing that I actually did to test out my experience, especially transitioning from in person to online courses, if there's any tip that I could possibly give you guys, it would be to actually get up and get dressed as if you're going for class. Because there would be times where I would have like a class in the morning, like an 8 a.m. lecture on my laptop, or I would have something at 11 a.m. on my laptop, and I would be in my pajamas, like in my bed, just waking up, Like my 8 a.m. lectures, sometimes I would literally wake up at 7:58 and log on and just press enter and then low key kind of sleep. So if you actually get up and you make sure that you're like dressed, even if you're not showing your face to the cameras, the days that you do your makeup too, if y'all do makeup, that's pretty good too. That works, Alyssa. It really does. Like it makes you kind of feel like you have to do something and get prepared. Like putting on some jeans instead of those sweats that you had from the night before. Like actually coming to class prepared without physically being there puts you in the mindset that you could that you can focus because you're not in comfortable clothing. And then for even for like morning classes too, open up your blinds, like open your blinds up, look at the sun for a little bit. It wakes you up. It puts you in this like feeling of just being motivated to get up and get out of bed and do something. um just having the motivation and the drive there, because I know a lot of us tend to not be as motivated when all we're doing is sitting on a screen, which is kind of an inconvenience, but we have to make do with what we have. So trying to stay on top of the work as much as possible. Again, like Sabria and Alyssa and Aurelio said, just keeping on top of your work, checking your emails. Please check your emails. I can't stress that enough either. Because they're always on top of you, telling you the things about your classes, and checking your syllabus too if these professors change it. Um, I don't know if you were all here for the live that we did a couple of days ago. But does anybody want to talk about what a syllabus is if the students don't know what it is?
Can I just add something to what we were just talking about really quick? I just want to add, when it comes to emailing your professors, don't be afraid. Like, I email my professors about like 5 times a week. And I was talking to Sarah and I'm like, oh my gosh, they probably hate me. They're not going to answer my question, this, that. And then it's actually two of my professors. I was like, oh, sorry, I'm emailing you so much because I emailed him at least like 5 times in one day, asking a whole bunch of questions about the assignment and what I had to do. And he was like, it's completely fine. I'd rather you ask questions. So don't be afraid. If you don't know the answer, like just ask and go for it.
Make sure you reread and edit your emails. Read them out loud.
Yes, because you find more mistakes when you read them out loud.
Oh, and then because I mentioned ooh, I mentioned like a syllabus too. So basically, for the students that don't know what syllabuses are, they're essentially a big document that basically summarizes the entire semester in one document for you to look at. It has important dates that you need to know, important dates for exams or homework assignments that you need to complete. Checking that too, because some professors, mine at least, have been consistently changing the syllabus and not telling us. And we would only get announcements saying that the syllabus has changed. And I would have to personally go through it and figure out where they changed the information. So if your professors are not as vocal about that, just staying on top of that and seeing where due dates are changing and important dates that you guys need to know about. So those were basically that was basically that.
I was gonna add on to it. So syllabus also has ways to contact the professor, their office hours. They have the overview of the course. They have the overview of the course, and they also have just the learning objectives of the course. So it teaches you what you're gonna say, and then they give you a brief explanation of like your projects or like presentations that you have to do later in the semester.
Does anybody have anything to add on that, or are we good? Okay. So, what else? I know we did run down a few things about the Summer Institute and virtual learning and all of these things, but do you have any advice, any other advice for the students going into the program, for the Summer Institute, or college in general? Does anybody have any advice?
I would just say be yourself and stay focused. Remember the reason why you came to college.
Uh, I would just say just keep an open mind to everything. Just take advantage of every opportunity that they give you. because EOF tends to provide a lot of opportunities and resources to you. So just take advantage of them and just give it your all. Like you won't lose anything by just giving it your all. All you would do is gain from it, and even if you fail, it's just a learning experience. So as scary as like you think it is or may think it is, just make sure you're on top of your things, and you'll be fine. And ask for help.
I think the best piece of advice that I can give anybody coming into, you know, any university would just be to be open to change. Because when I look back, you know, and I think about myself coming into the EOF program, I'm definitely 100% not the same person. And you're not going to be after 3 or 4 years. So, just being open to change, like knowing that you have to grow through things and not go through them, and just be excited for the person that you're going to be when you come out of it.
Okay. So Bria, did you have anything to? Is everybody okay? We are running like really short on time, so like not short on time. We actually have a lot of time. So does anybody have any questions? Any students here that are on the live that have any questions, you can unmute yourself or write it in the chat box. We're all here to answer all of your questions.
Well, I was gonna say, for the students that are listening, if you're struggling with a class, there's tutoring service, so never be afraid to schedule tutoring appointments. There's nothing wrong with getting help from other students. And if you are struggling with study habits or anything like that, you could always contact the Learning Center and schedule an appointment with the learning specialist. And again, one of the greatest things that you can do in college or in university is just ask for help. It makes a huge difference when it comes to getting good grades or not, or and staying involved on campus.
Um, some advice that I would give out too is being involved too. Being involved is one of the best decisions that I've made on campus. I remember like my freshman year I was really hesitant on putting myself out there and meeting new people, but the opportunities that you make getting to know your peers and getting to know the people around you and just joining different clubs, like there is something for everyone. Um, so no matter what you have, like no matter what your hobbies are, I guarantee you there's a club for it. If there isn't a club for something that you're really passionate about, you could always make your own. If you get like a couple of people and create your own club too, that one's really good. It just expands everything, expands opportunities and the connections that you make with people. It just makes your college experience so much better. Like the more I believe the more people that I have, the better. Just because I love being able to meet new people. It's like one of my favorite things to do on campus, actually. So, um, yeah. Oh, clubs sound cool. What about Greek life? Anybody got something to say about Greek life? Aurelio?
Okay, so I finished talking to a student about this just now. So when it comes to Greek, like, because I'm a Greek myself, you just have to find what works best for you. Don't just join the org just because they just look cool or something like that. Because I know sometimes what they do is they just join the org because that's the first org that they saw and they helped them. But like so hold up, because Sarah just asked the question of what does Greek life mean? Greek life is basically just a brotherhood or sisterhood, and it just if they basically have the similar principles to them all and it has the same foundation, but it's basically in essence just a brotherhood and sisterhood. And it's people that you rely on and it's just like more of like a social networking thing that really does help you. And I believe it helps you in college. But my greatest advice for Greek life is join an organization that you can get along with and you don't have to like change who you are to be in that organization because the foundation of every Greek organization is brotherhood and sisterhood. So if you can't get along with them or you feel like you're being someone else and not yourself, then I wouldn't recommend joining that organization. And please make sure you do your research because you don't want to regret um, joining an organization. So that's my advice on Greek life.
We have a question here from Albert that says, "What are some fun clubs that you guys like? Is there anybody involved in any clubs that they wanted to talk about or anything?"
I know for me, I'm not really involved in clubs, but since I was a freshman last year, what I did was I went to club, like I started out as a criminal justice major. So I went to like all the different criminal justice events, and then I went to like a few psychology and like just different ones, but it's not like I was active or anything. I just went.
So, oh, Alyssa? Okay, never mind. You could go.
Yeah, no, I'm not a part of any clubs either. Like y'all know, I work. But like Sabria just goes to a lot of the meetings and stuff for different clubs. I will go to like the ASA events, and that's the African Student Association. I'll go to the BSU events, the Black Student Union events, because there's always like um, fashion shows or game nights or something. So while I'm not like a president or the treasurer of any of the clubs, I'll go because they have fun events, and that's where I'll make go to the events with the food. Yes, that's where I'll meet people and make friends. And sometimes I'm not even gonna lie, I will choose what event I want to go to that day based on what food they're serving. So like if ASA is having pizza and BSU is having tacos, I'm probably gonna go to BSU's event, whatever it is, because they have tacos.
Um,
So
um, so I am involved in the Student Nurse Association. I'm a nursing major, so I'm one of the volunteers in that club. So basically, we do a bunch of volunteer work and community service. One of the last events I did was read to children at the Leap Academy at like one of the elementary schools down the street from the campus. So that was pretty fun. Um, I don't know. This is not really a club, but it's an office. So I do work for the Office of Violence Prevention and Assistance. So we also have events on campus. We do really cool events on the quad outside, where we decorate the whole quad and we decorate the outside of the campus center and the inside of it for Turn the Campus Purple to raise awareness for sexual violence and sexual assault, um, and things like that. And then I also just join events that they were talking about. So even if I'm not involved in a club, I will still go to events with food. I will still go to events with fun activities. I go to a bunch of there's this one that I went to where they made face masks and like hair masks. I think it was AKA and
Okay.
and it was a really fun time. Like we basically talked about what type of hair we had. I didn't know what high porosity hair was. I kind of still don't know what that is, but they made me a hair mask for my hair, which was really cool. We just made stuff with avocados and stuff. So that was really fun. Um just things that like keep you occupied and things that help you like meet new people, because I met a bunch of new people just from that event alone, and it was really fun. Everybody got along with each other, and there's lots of food.
I was gonna say Sarah put the website in the Engage website. So if you really want to get involved, every day you could literally, or every week you could look at the events that are happening in the week or in the day. So therefore you can plan which events you could go to based on your schedule, and then get involved that way. And that's probably one of the easiest ways to get involved is literally go to events and just make at least one friend in each event. Just talk to new people. The least they're gonna say is just like no. That's it. So it's easy, very easy to get involved. And since it's such a small, intimate campus, it's really easy to just get involved.
Also, to add to that, they also, well, most organizations have social media pages on Instagram, so you can also follow them and get the latest updates, because I feel like they post more about events and stuff on social media than the engaged page sometimes. Like, they don't always update it as soon as possible.
I was gonna say for the RUC app, you just download it on your Apple Store or Google Play Store, and it's literally just like a small social media platform. Like you could write posts, you could like people's like posts or something. People promote events through it. The Rutgers app is also a way to go and engage. It's a way to order your food, order Starbucks if you like. And it literally has all the resources of Rutgers-Camden in that one app, and it's very easy and accessible to do everything. I know I be venting sometimes on that app, so and yes, Sarah just added the link.
Also, to add for that, I know, like, in the chat box, some students ask for like certain books just in case if other people are selling it. I was gonna say something else, but I forgot about the chat. Oh, say like, okay, if we're still virtual in the fall semester, some people will ask, "Oh, are you in this class?" and ask like questions about assignments and stuff, or just about anything. So yeah. So a lot of people use the chat for many different reasons. And if you go on it, you can scroll and see what people say on it just to get an idea.
Also, if let's say you don't fill out your housing application on time, or you didn't make the housing the list, I guess you could say. So there's a whole ton of people that want roommates. There's a whole ton of people that talk about just renting out spaces if anybody needs to move in. Off-campus housing is a huge one, especially right now. If you go on the app right now, a lot of it is about off campus housing and apartments that need spaces. So if anybody needs a roommate, or if anybody needs a space to occupy, the app is where to go for that right now. Makes your whole apartment hunting, I guess, journey, if you will, a lot easier with this app. And then talking about professors too before registration period starts. So you'll understand that more as you move along as a student on this university. Before registration opens, everybody talks about professors. They're all like, is this one good? Is this one good? Is this one good? What class is good for me? And everybody will just help each other out. Even administration is there to answer questions if you have specific questions to ask them on the app. Are there any other questions? Any last questions for you guys? Anything? I'll give it a minute. Okay. So I don't see any further questions from you guys. So does anybody have any last minute things they want to say?
So I know a lot of students have questions about this, and it's usually about work study and what is work study, how to get work study. Um, and basically, you would have to go to financial aid if you don't have work study and appeal the process for work study. And if you do have work study, it will show up on your reward letter. And if you want to see your reward letter, all you really have to do is go on Google and type in Rutgers-Camden reward letter, and it should be the first link on Google. And basically, what work study is um, student federal aid gives you a certain amount each semester, and then that's the money that your employer uses to pay you throughout the semester. So what works, and I usually recommend work study because it goes along with go. Was it Sarah that dropped the link? Yeah, Sarah, you fast with these links. But it's usually the work study usually goes with your schedule. So your employer can't like schedule work time while you're in class. So that's always a good thing to keep in mind. And there's so many places. And if you want to look for a job on like a work study job, there's a website that Rutgers uses. It's called Handshake, and I don't know if Sarah's gonna drop that link in like 5 seconds or something. But Handshake, you can look for um, for any work study jobs or even internships. And then if you want to look for internships, the Career Center is a great resource that you can always go to, and there's a website for it that you can just go on and just look at her. Look at her. Okay, Sarah. So I know a lot of people worry about money and all that. So, but again, if you don't, if you're not eligible for work study, you can always appeal the thing when you go to financial aid.
I would also say, as a side note, know who your professors are because they might be an important person on campus. So you might want to build a connection, any type of relationship with them, just in case for recommendations and stuff, because I didn't know how important that was. And I had a class with the vice chancellor, and Sarah told me to take advantage of it. And still to this day, I was just speaking to him the other day. So just be mindful of who your professors are. So just keep that in mind because you might need a recommendation, anything, and it might help out.
Knowing your professors might make or break that extra letter grade too. So say you got a C, if you really know your professor, he might bump it up to a B. So it might really help you in the long run too, because it shows that you're putting effort into the class. There's one time where I got a C in the class, C plus, but he bumped it up to a B because he said I always tried and that I was always involved. So that always helps knowing your professor.
It really does. Even if you got like, okay, I'm not the biggest teacher's pet, but sometimes I will be like, like just being nice with them because I want them to see my face and know who I am as a student. And there were times where I was making or breaking a class, and my lab instructor literally bumped my grade up because they wanted to save me from not retaking the class. It was a really it was hard, but it was worth it. And then even now I'm close with my professors to the point where they even email me with job opportunities. Like my one professor just emailed me and a few other students about a job opportunity to work in Atlantic City to work for the COVID-19 pandemic, and they were paying $20 an hour, including housing that was provided for us. But I didn't take it because it was in Atlantic City and that's so far away. But just the idea of having an opportunity like that, just because you build that connection with your professor, is amazing. So make sure that you just build that connection, especially because this campus is so small. It's easier.
I completely agree. Okay, so I have a story. Okay, fall semester, I was scared that I was gonna fail a class, and I kept getting like a 70, a 71 on everything. And I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna study for this final. Like, I can't get above a C in this class. And I kept going to him, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, I tried everything. And he's like, how are you studying? And then I told him, and then he told me to try a different one. And I got like a couple more points. And then I think like the last quiz we had, I got like a 78, but it still did not help me. And he usually doesn't give out extra credit at all in his class. And he tells us that all the time. I am not giving out extra credit, but it was the event that was going on. And he said, go to it and I'll give you like 5 to 10 extra points. And I was like, okay, this might actually work out. But I was like, I still feel like I'm going to fail the final. And I went to it. I emailed him and then I told him everything about the event. And I honestly don't know how I passed the class, but he allowed me to pass. So that is very important of everything that we just said.
I have an opposite story. So it's very important to go to all of your classes, every single one of them, my freshman year. My first semester, I was taking an intro class. It was intro to sociology, like an intro course. Are you kidding me? So I'm in this course and it's a lecture. I think it was the first time I'd ever been in a lecture course. And I go to everyone, I'm taking the, and I'm failing everything. Like everything I got an awful grade on. So I never contacted my professor. I never made that relationship. Me and my best friend, we were in the same class, and I'm really good at math. So I sat down the night before the final, or maybe it was like a week before the final, because I was going to start studying, and I did the math. And in order to pass the course, I had to get like a 189 on the final. Like I had to pass the final with 189 just to pass the course. So I was like, all right, I'm just not gonna go to the final. Like, there's no way I can pass this class. So the day the final comes, my friend goes to the class and I don't. And I'm not gonna say the professor's name, but I'll never forget her name. She told my friend, she said, if she had just shown up to the final, whether or not she actually passed, I would have given her a C for the course. I was pissed. But that's my story. And ever since then, I just have good relationships with my professors because that was traumatizing.
Just remember your ultimate goal is to get that degree. So please make sure that your focus is on that. Don't try to like be just try to be a part of something else and that like distorts your way from your goal. Just always make sure that that goal is always there and make sure that you get there as soon as possible. Or sometimes you just have to go by your own pace and that's fine. But make sure that that ultimate goal is your degree.
And always try your best too.
That yeah, just trying your best in all your classwork, going to all your classes, just putting your, just in general, just putting your best foot forward to, make an effort to know your professor, make an effort to study in advance, make an effort to get a calendar and put things on your wall, like we were saying earlier, you know, just always putting your best foot forward and doing your best. And if you don't know, you know, EOF is definitely here. We're all here. Me, Diana, Sabria, Aurelio, we're all here to, kind of get you to know, connect you to the person who knows. Hopefully, we know. Um, and I think that that's really what EOF is all about, just preparing you for college.
And you are going to hear this all the time that we are all a family. And you're going to hear that like for the rest of college essentially and for the whole summer institute that we are family. So if you ever need any kind of assistance, even if it's something that we can't provide for you, your EOF counselors can do that for you. The whole EOF the whole point of EOF is to help support each other and uplift each other and help us be the most successful we can possibly be with what we have. And I think that's what makes EOF such a beautiful thing. And it really is an honor to be a part of this because not a lot of people get the resources that we get. So it's really good to take advantage of that and reach out and get to know each and every one of us. If you have the opportunity to, we're all here for you. So yeah.
I was gonna say we really do appreciate that you guys showed up today. Like, don't think that we don't notice you guys. So thank you for coming. I believe this is the end of the WebEx. But thank you so much. We are very excited to see you during the summer and help you guys out as much as we possibly can. And honestly, from the bottom of my heart and from the bottom, I'm pretty sure from every one of your peer coaches, we all love you. We can't wait to meet you guys.
And please don't be afraid to ask for help if you need help with anything. We're here for you.
Right. if there's nothing else, I hope you guys all have a great night. Thank you guys so much for coming. We really do appreciate you guys. Everybody be safe, everyone.